serious, cause I'm a different breed, they call me alien.
Yeah, I know. We did it. We did it. We made it to the final episode of our first series, guys. Crazy. We've come a long way. A very long way. Kind of short, but actually a very long way. Because look, bro, a video every single day. Every single day about this stuff, bro. Bro, what? First series done. Now we gotta go ahead and finish our. Now we gotta go ahead and do the moon. Like we gotta go to the next one. We got more. We got more coming, guys. We got more. Okay. Dang. We are on our final episode of the clowns or giants conspiracy, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. But for starters, how's it going, my fellow Anons, my fellow plebeians, and other based individuals? We are here to finish what we started. And that time is now. And I hope y'all ready, because I'm ready. I need to know what the giants look like with cone heads. Come on, bro. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Let's get it. Let's just get into it. Again, shout out Conspiracy R Us. Shout out Understanding Conspiracy and anything else I have linked in the description below.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we're talking about the Nephilim look like clowns with a focus on the cone heads. Now we're just gonna have some fun with this today, but this phenomenon of the elongated skulls, it is very interesting because a lot of these skulls, they appear to be something unique unto themselves, and I do believe we're looking at a totally different group of people who had their own customs and religion.
Literally.
And they've been largely written out of the official history. But I think some of the actual physical characteristics of these people, I believe some of those characteristics have been incorporated into the appearance of what we refer to as a clown or a jester. And because it's harder to represent in real life.
Killer clowns from outer space. Come on now. Why would they make that a movie? Why would they? I'm sorry. We on it, bro. I'm already starting to ramble. Come on, this is final episode. Don't get too warped into the conspiracy, my guy. This is all in Minecraft. Remember, none of this is fact until proven fact. Okay.
I think that might be why we have the adopt.
Just like the law system. You're not guilty until you're proven guilty. Period.
Of these conical hats that are also worn by clowns and other people. Now again, this is all speculative and none of this is proof, but it gives us a good opportunity to just talk about these conical or pointy hats, and there's a large association between them and clown.
Whole time, have you guys seen the Conehead movie? I hope he brings that up in this video, bro. Conehead movie is hilarious.
Wizards, witches, things like this. So we're just going to talk about that briefly. Yeah, so you see these.
Also, I don't know what type of clown that was. That was not a. I don't know what kid you was trying to make a laugh with that. That was the creepiest out of all of these. Just cut it. It's black. I'm kidding. I am melanated myself. It was a joke.
Conical hats associated with a lot of these clowns, very creepy looking, especially in black and white. But it goes back all the way to the 1800s as far as with clowns. But there was another interesting aspect to all this is you have these pointy hats and this concept of...
Why is he holding his hands like that, bro? Like, why did the artist who draw his hands like that? That's in reference to I forgot what it was. It's supposed to be like something that like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The rest of the other conspiracy nuts, y'all send a reference in the comments, bro. Please.
Class clowns, children who step out of line. They're forced to wear these conical hats in the classrooms.
Yeah, and call you dunce. Back in the day, they used to be on bull. That's crazy. Assholery, buttholery, buffoonery.
At least in Europe and North America, there was
literally
this conical hat referred to as the dunce cap, and you would be brought up to the front of the class.
Just social fucking isolation. Like, you just ruined a kid's entire social life and self-esteem for nothing, just because he did something wrong in class. He got the answer wrong in class. Now you got to sit in the front. Like, come on.
Would potentially stand or sit on this stool, and you would just basically stay there for a period of time. So it's this act of
humiliation. Gotta get the carbonation in my body
while wearing one of these hats. So just the whole evolution of this is interesting to me. And this is just another photo, boys' school, 1905, and some female students with an exaggerated version of these dunce caps, and this is from 1890. So I was interested just seeing where this originated from.
Hold on, look at this, bro. He ruined his whole life over that, bro. This is how monsters are made. This is literally how monsters are made, bro. And y'all taking pictures of him, bro. I bet you there's an entire unwritten record of school shootings and people getting killed for all sorts of stuff, especially back in the day, bro. It was so much easier to do this type of shit, bro. Recently, it's been in the news and propagated because America, like, has the most lax gun laws in any country damn near. But, like, bro, there's got to be a huge history of this. There's no way, bro. 'Cause, like, if I was off my rocker, bro, and they put me up in front of the class with a cap on because I got a question wrong, bro. And again, this hypothetical, if I was off my rocker and I was crazy, especially as a kid when you're like very hormonal and stuff, you don't really know better, bro. If I was very off my rocker, I'm marking that whole school off my list, boy. Teacher, hold on. Teacher, you thought it was sweet? Hold on. You really thought it was sweet, dude. You really thought it was sweet. And then all you gonna hear is that's it, bro. Bow, 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 bow. I'm on it, bro. That's how it is, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I do not advocate for that. Please. If you feel that type of way, please go seek help. Please make sure you talk to a counselor, someone, a loved one, anybody that you can reach out for solace. But I'm just saying, if I was off of my rocker and in a bad situation, I would not look past doing that.
90. So
I'm just saying, I am not off my rocker though, and I am not violent. I'm not
before I get
propagating
to
that stuff.
There was some
just
other
saying,
aspects.
Just saying, bro.
Humiliation where
somebody crazy could really get on that.
Forced to just sit in a
like,
corner,
look at that,
stare at the wall.
Look at that.
Something you definitely couldn't get away with today, but apparently this lasted, at least in North America, all the way up to the 1950s, at least according to this information. And even more recently, it was banned in several areas in England and Wales in 2010. So just such an odd thing to have in the classroom. And apparently it all
we back. Sorry about that.
Traces back to this one person. I believe he was a Franciscan priest as well as a philosopher, theologian. John Duns Scotus largely lived during the 1200s, but he had some interesting ideas about these coned hats, and he apparently endorsed wearing a basic cone hat as he believed that such hats acted as a cosmic funnel whereby one could receive knowledge directly from the universe. So how true is all that? Again, I don't know, but this is just where they tell us these dunce caps trace
tinfoil hats
back to is this individual who had some interesting ideas. But moving ahead here, there's some interesting variations of the dunce cap. One is with donkey ears, and I've just got some depictions of some of these other dunce caps, and this is just a postcard showing another one of these variations. And this is a young Bridget Bardot wearing another variation of the dunce cap. So again, none of this, like I said, is proof. and it's just interesting to talk about. But could they actually have their origins? Could they trace back as sort of a nod to these beings and how they actually appeared? I think that's the speculation. But this idea of wearing this particular type of headgear
Where you think the KKK got their energy from, my boy?
Is carried forward even today in different aspects. You had during the Reformation, when people would get arrested, they would be forced to wear these conical hats, and depending on the severity of the crime, you'd get a different colored conical hat. But there's still brotherhoods within the Catholic faith that practice
Bro, that look like
this
KKK.
certain form of penitence, where I believe just before
That just looks like direct KKK. That don't even look like, I don't know.
or
bro.
Easter,
I don't know, bro.
people who felt they needed penance, they would perform this ritual where they would go out in public wearing this specific type of headgear. And yeah, just an interesting thing to carry forward. But this reminds me a lot of what a lot of these lost tribes of Tierra del Fuego, some of their initiations and rituals would call for them to dress in this certain way as well. And again, Tierra del Fuego is at the southern tip of South America, and a lot of these tribes no longer exist. One of them was the Selk Nam. There's interesting correlations all over the world with these conical hats and headgear.
Yeah.
So, and I am familiar with the hate group in North America, but we won't go there. But again, I think it could have
The Klan.
some tie-ins to an actual race of beings in our ancient past. So yeah, just really something to keep an eye on. And even in the late medieval period, you had some of the members of royalty, some of the women would wear these interesting headdresses. They called it a hennin. So it shows up all over. And even in the western deserts of China, these are the famous Caucasian mummies that were found in the Tarim Basin within this desert. And it was the mystery of the Caucasian mummies. And a lot of these mummies were found, they were, in addition to being Caucasian, they red-headed, blonde-haired, just something people weren't expecting to find in the western part of China. But
The
another
giants.
interesting aspect to
The Giants.
these mummies, a lot of them had these pointy hats, these conical hats, and some of the female mummies were referred to as the witches of Subeshi. And these are just some more images of these mummies and their interesting headgear. The origin of this, who knows, but we're just considering the possibility it's a nod to these beings. But these female mummies were buried in these tall cone-shaped hats nearly 2 feet high. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was
I
really
gotta take a
interesting.
break.
And, going back to this particular mummy,
Y'all do not understand. I just had to go through hell and back just to get this shit to work. They just disconnected me, then changed my whole layout. Bro, come on. Like, you see this. You see this. No, y'all can't see it. They disconnected me, changed my entire layout of how I had shit. I don't know if y'all could tell. I just went through an almost 45 minutes of just trying to get this to work, just so I could record a screen recording. Like the world is just messing with me right now. Everybody messing with me right now. It's crazy. It happens. I'm just really, really frustrated. And now tech ain't teching. But it don't matter. I just want to say this. Just quick side note. Quick side note. The only person you have in this world is yourself. So, work on yourself. Make sure you find your own happiness. Friends, family, loved ones, significant others, whatever you want to say. They should never, ever, ever be what determines your happiness. And I just mean that because everything comes and goes. Only you can determine what makes you happy, and that is yourself. That's it. I just had to say that. I'm sorry, bro. Random and vague. I know, but it's facts. Let's continue.
this particular mummy referred to as the Churchin Man, I guess he was buried with up to 10 hats. And I guess even one of those was a conical witch hat. And according to some of the information out there, these type of hats were commonly found with many of the mummies that they found. And I believe they've found hundreds of these mummies. So just a unique and interesting phenomenon, but they also find mummies with interesting headdress. Not only...
This is crazy though. We have there, especially the Buddhists. Like there's a lot of these mummies that have just like the cone shaped pointy hats. So that might be the correlation for real.
In Western China, but in Japan, they found some of these Buddhist mummies with some interesting headgear as well, somewhat related to the topic that we're covering here today. So just wanted to mention it. And just the whole reason, wizards, witches, and these pointy hats, some of these conical hats, where does it all point back to? Because it's kind of murky when you start trying to trace it back to its origin. But I think maybe it could tie in, once again, to these Nephilim potentially. Now, even Mother Goose, the nursery rhymes associated with Mother Goose, who may or may not be a real character, but they've given or portrayed Mother Goose.
Mother Goose was a witch that flew around the world and doing magical things. I don't even remember that nursery rhyme. I'm not even capping with y'all. I don't even remember what that nursery rhyme was.
With one of these pointy hats.
I've heard of the tales. I mean, like I'm more like akin to like Aesop's fables, but like I don't know.
On a goose. So just wanted to mention that. And the history of Mother Goose is an interesting one unto itself, and you can search that up on YouTube if you want. Yeah, so I just wanted to really talk about these pointy hats, the conical hats, possible connections to these elongated skulls and these people. So just something of interest. And
killer clowns from outer space. I didn't said it. I told you. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. So having said that, let me talk and switch gears, talk about the old gods.
Ooh. The old gods. We're all gods. We're all gods, okay, bro?
Now, the zigzag pattern is something I've also talked about in previous episodes of this series, and there seems to be some association with these clowns, these zigzag patterns, and I believe it was the murder home of John Wayne Gacy. They found paintings of clowns all over the place, and all this zigzag patterns, wallpaper throughout his home. And, just looking into the zigzag pattern, what potentially could it be representing? Certain directors like David Lynch, who works this theme into a lot of his projects, and in some cases it represents this alternative dimension. And why that's kind of interesting is there's this phenomenon called liquid crystal polarization, and it appears people are being enveloped by these zigzag black and white patterns. So just something quite interesting. And these patterns also show up in videos talking about these other dimensions. This was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and this is supposed to be Alice in Wonderland, this alternate dimension, and all these interesting, unique patterns. So I like to keep my eye out for some of these zigzag patterns wherever they appear, and that brings us to northeast Syria, where in the early 1900s there was this temple found, and they found hundreds of these figurines referred to as the eye idols of Tel Brak. So what's of interesting or note to us is that a lot of these figurines have
E.T.? Tell me that don't look like E.T. Tell me that don't look like E.T. Come on now. That's got to be.
Once again, these interesting zigzag patterns over them. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that hundreds of alabaster eye idol figurines were unearthed, and it was one of the earliest cities of northern Mesopotamia with just the exaggerated eyes and once again the zigzag pattern. Now they're just saying in this article how they're depicting clothes, which could definitely be the case, but I guess I'm just sort of keeping the door open to there's other possibilities, because again, these representations of whatever these figurines are representing, these could be actual beings in another dimension, or at one point they were physical, who knows. But I think there could be more to the patterns that we're seeing with these beings in particular. And there's a lot of variations, single-eyed idol types, and you can just see all these different variations, and multi-eyed idol types. And then you even have the sort of eye within an eye type. But yeah, just really unique figurines that I kind of just wanted to share with you guys. And I guess some of them even have more conical head gear or heads themselves, so very unique in and of themselves, and I just wanted to bring them to your guys' attention. And of course, the American Southwest, a lot of petroglyphs and a lot of pottery showing these patterns as well, so it shows up in a lot of interesting and unique places. So yeah, just wanted to sort of add this to the list of things associated with the zigzag phenomenon. So I think that's all I got for you for today.
Thank you so much, Conspiracy RS. You didn't just let us through this amazing journey, and now my brain is like fried. Make sure you guys go sub to him, follow his Patreon, go ahead and sub to Understanding Conspiracy, check out their content. Make sure you guys get your own objective thoughts on this stuff, okay? Because my conspiracy brain is not the best teacher for all of this. You guys have the opportunity to learn about it and develop your own conclusions. You know what I'm saying? Your own thesis, hypotheses, whatever you want to say. You guys have the chance to do that. But we finished the series. I'm sorry, I had to stretch. We finished the series, and I am ecstatic about that. We finally did things we could do. Now we're gonna continue. I'm probably gonna have another late night boost video coming up soon. All of my content is gonna be like slowed down. I'm hoping I can at least get a decent amount of stuff pre-recorded, so then like you guys will just be able to be satiated until I'm able to get in a more stable position. But I just hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys like just question everything. Don't believe a goddamn thing anybody tells you. Make sure you try to decipher the code to your own personal matrix. V2K, aliens, laser beam, blah 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 blue 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 blue. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it for this one. We finished the first series. We got a few more coming up next. And yeah, remember D34D, we're all dead. 3 + 4 = 7. It's the year of the 7, and we're killing all the demons. Remember that, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Just go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and adios.
You're dead in my eyes once you try to play. No, there ain't no saving. You'll die in your place. Try to walk all over me. I am not a doormat. Trying to talk down on me. I'ma just ignore that. Hopping in the whip quick. I'm turning ignition. Swerving right past him. I'ma have to ditch. Send him to the ICU. This blade gon' dissect him. I'm a big baller. Young David Beckham.